Welcome back to the Sports of Ladies and Gentlemen. My name is Stephen Dennis. So let's get into the preview of Manchester United versus Sheffield United. Remember guys, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like and share if you enjoy the content, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Remember, that's how the YouTube algorithm works and it will help the channel a lot if you guys participate and interact. With that being said, let's jump into the preview. Alright, so Sheffield United are just 2 points behind Man United and are well in it for the race for the top 4. Now, 5th may well give us Champions League football, but that would depend on what the ruling is and if City's ban is upheld. So with that being said, it's better that we get into the top 4 and rely on that than wait on the verdict and see if that will actually help us. So where I start first is our previous encounter this season. So that match was a 3-all draw. Now the first half of that match were pretty horrible. Everything was slow and lethargic, but we stepped it up in the second half and scored 3 goals in 7 minutes. It seemed like we would actually have gone home with the 3 points, one of the few that would have beaten them at Bramall Lane. But sloppy defending again cost us 2 points there as they equalized in the dying seconds. However, given that match and the matches so far since Project Restart, there are a number of things that we can capitalize on to ensure that we take the 3 points. So first things first, even though I'm pretty annoyed we didn't win the match versus Tottenham as I thought Pogba should have started, there are a number of positives to take from that match. 1. Pogba and Fernandes work. If you look on the way the game changed once Pogba came on, Fernandes and himself, they were linking up. They were exchanging places, rotating all over the pitch. They actually combined to get Martial in for a shot which Dyer superbly blocked. There was also the fact that Pogba won that penalty which Fernandes converted, and it can only get better once the relationships develop on the pitch. Number 2, Mason, he looks visibly stronger, he looks quicker, he looks like he's ready to take on the challenges posed now by Premier League defenders. Not that he was having much problem before, but now I've seen him shrugging off people in that Tottenham match. And the third is that we didn't have any major injuries to contend with. Lindelof may have been, he had gotten a knock it seemed like, but other than that everybody came through unscathed. I think this will be similar to the Tottenham game. Not that they play the exact same way, but that they will try to keep a solid defensive base and try to break when they can. Sheffield United are known for a high press game. They do press somewhat, but they are more reliant on keeping a solid base based on their midfielders being compact, and then they have those 3 defenders behind them, and their wing backs are also pretty energetic and pretty robust, so they keep the width and also tuck in properly when they're defending. So they have a pretty cohesive unit, which maybe is why they're kind of struggling now that the season has just picked back up. Everybody hasn't gotten back on the same wavelength. Given that they use wing backs, those guys definitely have to get up the field to provide their width, as their midfielders don't progress that much, because like I said, they have a solid base. It leaves the wing backs pretty much as the most creative parts for their team, and then they solely rely on their 2 forwards to get stuck in and to score the goals. It's not spread like around other teams. Now that is another thing where if you're able to nullify those strikers and pretty much get in behind those wing backs, then you have pretty much a chance to counter attack. So quick counter attacks can get them up because of that. So first thing first is that given that they are kind of narrow as it stands when they're defending, that means we definitely have to use the width more. So one of the reasons now I think Pogba definitely has to start this game is the fact that he has the range of passing along with Bruno to hit that quick ball over the top for Rashford, Martial and whoever is playing on the right hand side. Most likely I'd like Greenwood to start, given that even though the defenders are solid, they're not blessed with that much pace, and if we can get in behind them, then we should have chances to score goals. So that's one of their major weaknesses. Now, one of the other things that we definitely have going for us now is that we have two playmakers in the form of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, Rashford, Martial, and Mason can create stuff for themselves. But know that in the first game, we never had Pogba, if I remember correctly. So whoever was playing with on Oliver Norwood, pretty much he never challenged him all that much. Now with him having to think about Pogba, then he has also to think about Fernandes. That leaves one of them at all times to at least be able to do something on the ball. So that is a third weakness now, that we have basically a kind of overload of playmakers, if that makes sense. Alright, so with that being said, in terms of how I break down Sheffield United, let's go into our team, and I'm going to show you my starting lineup. You pretty much might have guessed it based on the hints I just gave, breaking down the tactical part of the battle with Sheffield United. So definitely it has given us some food for thought. The hair has been a bit shaky for a little while, but I'm not sure. I just think maybe it's more of a mental thing, and we can only hope he gets over it. I don't know what you guys think, if you think we should play Romero for the rest of the season or at least give him a chance. And then there's talk of Dean Henderson coming back for the number one spot. So we have to wait and see, but I still stick with the hair for this game. The back four will be same Shaw. I go for Bailly and Maguire, because I'm not sure if Lindelof will be back given that he got that knock. And obviously AWB at right back. Then in midfield, I'd start with Scott, Pogba, Bruno, and then up front, as I said, Rashford, Martial, and Mason. So that would be my starting lineup. You guys can look at the graphic, see how I set them up. Pogba and Bruno can interchange as well, because the Fernandes' work rate is pretty high and he doesn't mind dropping back as well. So that is another thing that makes this pretty fun, because they do work in that little cameo that you saw them. If we're also thinking about being a bit more attacking, I have a second lineup where instead of Luke Shaw, I have Brandon Williams, as we do know that he offers more going forward. Also, if we want to match them, we can revert to what we've done in a few games this season with that 3-5-2. I've also put that up on the screen as well, where using AWB and Williams as wing backs, we use Shaw, and in this case it would be Bailly and Maguire as the three centre backs. And then obviously you would have Pogba and Bruno, Rashford, etc. If we match them, then I think we'll have that little bit more creativity given that we have Bruno, Pogba, and then that should, we have to work just as hard, but quality would tell in that situation. Also, as I mentioned about Norwich, given that they don't have many progressive runners with the ball, you know how Aston Villa has Jack Grealish and McGinn, who can bring the ball. Sheffield United is not known for that. They rely on Norwood. If we can nullify him, and in turn would help to nullify their other two midfielders, Fleck and Lundstrom, then they're going to be bereft of creativity, and definitely would, I assume, would try to get the fullbacks to be that spark. Now, if we can get behind them, like I said, which is why I'm saying with my starting lineup of Pogba being able to tread those through balls from deep, and then you have Fernandes a bit further forward as well that can do the same, then I think we should run out comfortable winners. Alright, so the more I'm thinking about it, we definitely, as I said before, need to go for the jugular. Egan will be out. He got two bookable offences, and Dean Henderson can't play against us. They'll be sweating on the fitness as well of McGoldrick or Bernie. I'm not sure which one it is. So if we start Williams, Pogba, Mason, we have enough attacking thrust and intricacy in terms of our play to break them down, because they're pretty solid defensive, like I said. I think they're only behind Liverpool in terms of the amount of clean sheets that they have this season. So they are pretty hard to break down, but I don't expect a very high scoring game, as I said. So please guys, drop those comments in, let me know what you think, let me know what your thoughts are regarding my starting lineup. Is it the same as yours? What about the tactics that I think they will employ and that we will employ? Remember, they're coming off a loss and they drew their first match, so they need to bounce back. So I expect them to be up for this one, but we need to win this match if we are serious about kicking on for the top four. From here on out, we definitely have to put a winning run together. There are a number of games that you'd expect us to win, but starting with this one, we need to put that consistency, or get that consistency going rather, for till the end of the season. So for a quick recap, as I said, once we nullify Norwood, we should be able to impose our will. They'll have to contend with both Pogba and Fernandes and not just one. Worst in the previous fixture, they never had either to contend with. So I expect us to comfortably win this one. I think it's another 3-0, minimum a 2-0, but I think it will be a 3-0 win. Let me know what your predictions, guys, are. Drop them in the comments so we can see. Also, thanks again for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that goddamn notification bell so you never miss a beat. This is Stephen Dennis from Sports Oven signing off. Peace.